Yes, guys, what's going on? So, okay, back again, another video. 78 Sports TV, Be Real TV. Adrien the Problem Broner is going to be facing off against Mikey Garcia at the 140-pound limit. Great fight. Mikey Garcia's, I think Mikey Garcia's proven, you know, that he's at that level. Adrien Broner, he's fallen slightly short against Marcus Maidana, and Sean Porter kicked his ass as well. Now, me personally, I give Adrien Broner more of a chance than what people are giving him. I'm gonna give it to 78. 78. What do you think of this fight? Who you going for? I'm picking Mikey, but who are you going for? And do you give it to Mikey or Broner by quite a significant margin, or just edging?
Oh no, I'm going with Mikey Garcia. I think that it's a great fight. First of all, it's a good matchup. You know, credit to both fighters for taking the fight, especially Adrien Broner. He did not have to take the fight. He could have took some easy work, but you know, the kid wants to fight the best competition available. So, you know, I give him credit for fighting Mikey Garcia. But I'm picking Mikey due to, for one, I believe Mikey Garcia is the better technical boxer. Broner has a lot of advantages, being size, speed, and power, and usually size, speed, and power will equal a victory. But Broner is not disciplined as Mikey Garcia is. Broner has a lot of trouble outside of the ring, a lot of distractions, and those things can translate into your training and all that stuff. Those things plagued Mike Tyson's whole career, the distractions outside the ring. So you can be talented all you want. You can be amazing. But when you're distracted, you're not putting maximum effort into your training and removing distractions from your circle, then I got to give it to the guy who's more dedicated and more proven. And Mikey's no slouch. It's not like I'm picking some bum to beat Adrien Broner because he's undisciplined. No, Mikey Garcia is an undefeated fighter. I think this is his, third weight? Yeah, I think he's like a 3-weight division champion. You know, Mikey is a real good fighter. You know what I mean? Now, the thing is, Mikey moving up in weight. Okay, we've seen Mikey get dropped before, knocked down in lower weight classes, you know, a couple times, I think. So,
I forgot about that, but yeah, that's true. He did get dropped. I totally forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah, so now he's moving up to 140. First of all, Broner has to make 140, but I'm going to assume he can. Let's assume he can make the 140. Broner will probably hurt Mikey in this fight if he lets his hands go. This is all what Broner should be doing. Broner has to let his hands go against Mikey. If he lets his hands go, you know, he's in there fighting. Listen, man, this could be a great night for Adrien Broner. A great night for him. But he's so economical with his punches. He's always using so much energy in training camp to lose weight that he's tired when he's in the ring. And he's throwing, you know, not throwing combination punches how he should. He's taking a lot of breaks and gaps in between fights. And while he's taking those breaks and gaps, Mikey's going to be throwing combinations, landing clean, effective punches, and scoring points, winning rounds. So I'm picking Mikey Garcia based off of Broner's past history of not being disciplined. I would love to see Broner win this fight. It would be a great story, but I got to pick the guy who is more dedicated to the sport. And when Broner shows me that he can be dedicated for a series of fights and not, you know, oh, I'm dedicated for this fight, or I'm growing up and all this stuff, and then 2 weeks later you're threatening to kill yourself on Facebook or something, and you know, you're getting into all this stuff, you're getting arrested, you're getting out of jail, all this nonsense. So when Broner shows me that he's completely dedicated, I'll believe in him. But as of right now, I've lost faith in Adrien Broner as a dedicated fighter. You know, so I'm going with Mikey Garcia.
Now, I'm going for Mikey as well, but I'm going to disagree because I think everybody goes onto the easy pick that Adrien Broner's lack of discipline is the reason that he struggles inside that ring. But for me, I don't think he's that. I don't think it's that. I think prior to the Marcus Maidana fight, everybody thought that, well, not everybody, but a lot of people thought that Adrien Broner was the next heir to Floyd Mayweather Jr. But what I saw was, and what I still see is, a guy who only uses a shoulder roll. I mean, if you take the shoulder roll away from Mayweather, you take the shoulder roll away from Broner, okay? What do they have in common? Not really too much, because you look at Broner's footwork. He's very flat-footed. He's not really light on his feet. He doesn't have much head movement. If you look at Mayweather, right, he's got the pullback counter punch. Okay, he's got everything. I mean, if you look at Mayweather, from his footwork to his ring generalship to how he uses his head movement to how he counter punches, he's got the whole package. Adrien Broner doesn't have these things. Broner's a very stationary fighter. He's an offensive fighter, and I think a lot of his success came in the way of lower weight classes, because he outpowered his opponents. He was quick with his hands, and he was able to get away with it. And you see that with, like, say for example, Errol Spence, yeah, great fighter. He was wiping the floor with, you know, Chris Algieri and these fighters who he could get on the ropes and, you know, annihilate. But when he went up against Kell Brook, you know, in the early goings of the fight, he wasn't able to do that because of the weight advantage of Brook. And I think that this is the problem which Adrien Broner's had in his career, that when he's had to face guys, you know, who are bigger than him, who are stronger than him, and he's been challenged, he struggled because of his style, because he doesn't have that sort of them light feet what Mayweather has, that you know, split second timing what Mayweather has, the ability to switch from defense to offense like Mayweather has. So he's a completely different fighter. But you see, the thing for me is Mikey Garcia is not he's not Marcus Maidana, and he's not Sean Porter. Okay, we've heard about Errol Spence banging out Broner in sparring, but Spence is a bigger guy than Broner as well. So my thing is this: if Broner gets whooped by Mikey Garcia as well, I mean, then I don't know where Broner goes from here, because he's been whooped by bigger guys, he's been whooped by a smaller, more technical fighter. But I don't think it's down to his lack of commitment, because he puts it in when he's in training camp. But yeah, I think it does affect him a little bit, but I think it's like 20%. I think the big chunk of why Broner struggled in recent is his lack of skill, his flat-footedness, and I just think it's his general boxing IQ. I don't think it's as good as what people make out. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Broner is not a very ring-savvy guy. He survives off of a lot of pure talent, athleticism, you know what I mean? But Broner makes a lot of early mistakes in fights, and then he's fighting his way back into the fight in the second half of the fight. He has to come out and be aggressive early. He has to set a tone. He has to make Mikey Garcia question, moving up and wait and say, damn, this guy's strong, he can pop. He has to do that. And Broner is capable of still knocking guys out and stopping, looking impressive. But at the lighter weight classes, he was in shape. Yeah. 130, 135, he was in shape. You saw six-pack abs, low body fat percentage. The kid was in shape, but this is all before he met Floyd Mayweather as well. You understand? So the kid was in shape. He lived a different lifestyle. He was throwing punches, combinations in the ring. Then all of a sudden, he's like goes through this phase that he wants to be like Floyd Mayweather. He wants to hang around him. Then he tries to jump up to 147, and it's been downhill for the kid since then. You know, he's won some fights and stuff like that, but no, he has to get back to who he is. When he wasn't doing the fucking shoulder roll, okay? You know, the shoulder roll is just dumb for Adrien Broner anyway. I mean, he doesn't need to use the fucking shoulder roll. You know, he's better than that, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna say he's better than that, but he's more talented than having to rely on the shoulder roll. You know what I mean? And I think
sorry to cut you off here. Talk to me about the shoulder roll, right? Because you know James Toney's used it, Mayweather's used it, you know, Sweet Pea, he's utilized it. A lot of great fighters have utilized that shoulder roll. But talk to me about why Adrien Broner struggles with that shoulder roll, and what's your opinion on why he shouldn't use it?
Well, he's just started using it. He hasn't mastered it. Go back and watch Adrien Broner versus Daniel Ponce de Leon, okay? That's a fight where a lot of people think Broner lost that fight. A lot of people think he lost. It was Broner at the lighter weight classes. It was a good performance, in my opinion, from both guys. But you don't see a shoulder roll from Broner. You see him fighting like the traditional boxer-puncher.
I agree.
He's quick. He's fast. All of that stuff. But then as he starts moving up in weight and starts trying to imitate Floyd Mayweather, and he goes through this little man crush phase, now he's trying to do something that he didn't grow up using. He hasn't been training long enough in the shoulder roll. I see plenty of guys in other fights, like these undercard fights I watch on TV. These guys using the shoulder roll, getting knocked out, they get hit. It's it's not working for him because they see Floyd do it and it looks so smooth and easy, but it takes time. Listen, that's a very dangerous defense.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to know what you're doing to do that. You know.
I mean, if you miss it by, I think that's what it is that I think Mayweather, he mixes other styles into it. People think it's just the shoulder roll, you can stand there, take punches, but if you look at Mayweather, I mean, he's got so many, he can fight. I mean, when he fought Pacquiao as an example, he whooped Pacquiao, and he didn't even use that shoulder roll against the southpaw. He was able to fight without it. So that for me, I think the shoulder roll is like a split-second thing. If you miss it by, you know, literally an inch or by a split second, you get caught clean on the chin, because when you've got your hands up, you can kind of ride with it a little bit. You can, you know, you can take the punches. But when you've got your hands down and you're trying to use your shoulder, but you miss it, and you know you don't catch the punch on your shoulder, and it catches you clean, I mean, it can really do some damage. Yeah. Anything else you want to add to this fight though? I'm picking Mikey, but I don't know, man. I'm giving Broner a good shot in it, because I think if he lets his hands go, he's dedicated, he's committed. And like you said, I totally forgot about this. Mikey Garcia's been on the canvas before, so you know, for me, Broner has to win by knockout. I don't think Broner can win on a 12 round decision. I think Broner has to knock Mikey out, and he's got the power. When you're knocking down Sean Porter, weight drained or not weight drained, catch weight or no catch weight, you know, Broner's got some pop. He really does have some pop, and if he catches them, so you know, and you've got to remember, Sean Porter hasn't been dropped by Keith Thurman. Sean Porter didn't get dropped by Kell Brook, and they're some big welterweights. But Broner managed to drop him, so Broner definitely has some pop. If he catches Mikey, Mikey's coming up from, you know, some significantly low weight classes, and he's been on the canvas in the lower weight classes, and it doesn't look like he's weight drained, and that's the reason he's been down. So if Broner catches him with a nice uppercut or a left hand, snappy punch, I mean, it could be lights out for Mikey, but you know, I'm still gonna ride with Mikey on the 12-point decision. But I think Broner could win this fight by knockout. What do you think?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think Broner can win by stoppage, and Mikey on points. I think, and to be fair to Sean Porter as well, Sean Porter was weight drained when he fought Adrien Broner. You know what I mean? He did have to fight at a catch weight of 144 or 143 or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So, you know, he was not the traditional muscle-bound bully Sean Porter that we know him to be.
Yeah.
He was slightly underweight, but yeah, I would say Mikey on points, Broner by knockout, but I'm gonna lean towards Mikey winning this fight. You know what I mean? And like I said, I would not mind being wrong about this at all. I would love to see Broner come in here and win this fight. It would be a great story, and it would give us more options to mix and match. I would love to see him versus Terrence Crawford, because if he can make 140 and beat Mikey, I gotta see Broner versus Crawford. That's the fight. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man. I think even if he does beat Mikey, because Mikey's coming up, I think Crawford will put a whooping on Adrien Broner any day of the week, man. Monday to Sunday, twice on a Friday. I think Crawford will whoop Broner really bad.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a good fight, man. I love to see the trash talk to build up to the fight.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of like Mayweather versus Zab Judah. You know what I'm saying? It'd be something similar to that.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Crawford's bad boy though, man. I don't think Adrien Broner. I don't know, man. For me, I think Broner shouldn't get in that ring with Crawford anytime soon, man. Whether he wins this fight or not, I think he should avoid that fight at 140. That's gonna, I don't know, but that's